But no, I'm not. I think I need to pay my fucking bills first before I can think about driving thousands of miles away to Ohio to attend a funeral, don't you think? What obit? There better not be a fucking obit because that means the Frost went behind my back. There better not be a fucking obit. There better not be nothing because I ain't agreed to shit for the last motherfucking time. That is not their mother. That's my mother. And not only that, but there's a goddamn supposed to be a goddamn investigation going on. So there better not be nothing said or done about my mother until that investigation is done.
Mom's soul, her spirit, her essence. Because remember, ladies and gentlemen, energy is never destroyed. It might be reshaped, remolded, moved around, but it's never destroyed. Science has told us this. So isn't it interesting then that mom's essence, her energy, can now know all truth and now knows that the Frosts have been manipulating her all the way back to Ohio when I wasn't even a legal adult yet. Now, what do you think a spirit like that's going to do when they realize they were fucked over for about 35 years? Hmm. I'm just throwing that out there, you know? I'm just hypothesizing and theorizing, right? But yeah, think about it. Her spirit now knows all truth. She now knows that these motherfuckers were manipulating her for at least 30 years, if not longer than that. Now, what do you think a spirit's going to do when they realize that they were fucked over in life? I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that shit out there. Yeah, isn't it interesting that energy is never destroyed? Science tells us this, folks. That's not, that's not von Helton bloviate. That is what science says. Yeah, science tells us this, folks. Energy is never destroyed. It can be changed, manipulated, moved around, but is never destroyed. Which means now that she's dead, she knows everything, she sees everything, and she now knows that she got fucked over for the last 30 years, got talked out of her damn marriage and everything else. And them silver anniversary recipients that she got talked out of her damn marriage like an idiot. And she now knows that. So, what is a grieving spirit going to do when they find out they've been fucked over for over 30 years? You tell me. You tell me. I don't have to do shit. The gods don't even have to do anything. I got a funny feeling that that grieving spirit that once was my dear departed mother might do it all for us both. We won't have to do shit except sit on our ass. Hmm. Makes you wonder, huh? Makes you think, doesn't it? Yes. I know that if I was wrong in life and if I died, that my spirit would definitely want vengeance. But hey, I'm just talking here, right? We're just theorizing. We're hypothesizing.
So when James Arnold Frost came over here and told mom to kick Andrea off this property, and mom did it, she was following the orders of James Arnold Frost. I was there when he said it, so it's not hearsay. I was sitting right there on the couch when he told mom to kick Andrea off the property. And the poor deputy sheriff that come out, I felt so sorry for the guy because he's sitting there explaining to my mom, he went in and got on his computer. There's a computer in that cruiser. He went in there, got on his computer. He said, "Ma'am, she's done nothing wrong. She ain't broken no laws. That's a lie." And mom became enraged and started screaming at the top, "Get her off the property now!" Like she was demon possessed, literally like she was demon possessed. And you know what? She might have been, but we'll get into that later. But the point is that yeah, acting like somebody that was demon possessed, started screaming at that poor deputy sheriff, telling her, "Get her off the property now!" Blah 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 blah. Well, what happened? Did he brainwash my mother? Possibly. Did he use black magic? Well, that's a possibility too. There's also these things called keywords floating around out there. Did he use one of them? Don't know. I don't know what he done to get her to do it, but boy, she sure did it because I watched the whole thing go down, and so did my children. They watched from the window. They watched it all go down. My children watched from the window as their mom was handcuffed and stuffed in a cruiser and dragged off this property like a damn criminal. And James Arnold Frost is responsible for that. And as you all know, subsequently after that occurred, she was on a Greyhound bus heading for Alabama. The Greyhound bus stopped in Tennessee, where she was brutally raped on the Greyhound bus in Tennessee by a black man. All right. And James Arnold Frost is responsible for that. Because if he hadn't kicked her off the property, that wouldn't have happened. Simple as that. Okay? As simple as that. Actions have consequences. They do. They have consequences. And like I said, that deputy sheriff checked his computer. She had not broken. Well, I know we hadn't broken any laws, because if we had broken the law, them court cops would have never let us leave the court building. Right? You know, we would have never left the court building if we had broken the law. So James Arnold Frost flat out lied to my mother to get Andrea kicked off of this property. And unfortunately, my mom capitulated and did what he said, as if under brainwashing, by the way, as if she was brainwashed or possessed or controlled somehow. Could they have been using voodoo on my mother? Yes. Yes, they could have. Yes, they could have. Vaughn, are you going to the funeral?
I don't know. He needs help.
I don't know.
Send him some money.
I don't know. Yeah, maybe if you send me the money. Do you know where the funeral's at? Do you know the funeral is thousands of miles away in Ohio? Did you know that? Yeah, the funeral's thousands of miles away, dude. And I got exactly $41 to my name. $41. That's it. That's all I got. Okay, that's all I got. I don't even know if I'm going to be able to pay my damn cable bill. I think I need to pay my cable bill before I think about driving thousands of miles away, don't you reckon? Okay, but I don't even have the money to pay my bills. Like when I tell you they cut off literally every fucking dime of money, that's what I mean. That piece of shit down the road there, James Arnold Frost, stole my fucking inheritance money to the tune of $7.5 million. And if I had the money back, I'd be able to do things. I'd be able to pay my bills. I'd be able to go to Ohio to attend the funeral. I'd be able to bury my mom. I'd be able to do all kinds of cool shit. But you can't do it without no fucking money. Now, can you? Maybe you fucking YouTube trolls, instead of cutting off every goddamn dime of money I had, maybe you ought to fucking help me instead. How about that? Maybe that's why the gods are killing your fucking asses, because instead of helping me, you decided to hurt me even more. You know, the old term, kicking them when they're down, and that sort of thing. But yeah, this piece of garbage right down the road from me has got every goddamn dime of my inheritance money. $7.5 million. And boy, he sure enjoys spending it too. Thanks, trolls, because you aided and abetted his fucking ass. You aided and abetted the Frosts in grand theft. But no, I'm not. I think I need to pay my fucking bills first before I can think about driving thousands of miles away to Ohio to attend a funeral. Don't you think?
We got this piece of garbage out in the comments section saying that the Orbit says that the ceremony is in Manchester tomorrow from 12 to 2:30.
What obit? There better not be a fucking obit, because that means the Frost went behind my back. There better not be a fucking obit. There better not be nothing, because I ain't agreed to shit. I haven't signed off on shit. And that's not their goddamn mother. For the last motherfucking time, that is not their mother. That's my mother. And if they went behind my back and signed up for this bunch of shit, they're going to prison tomorrow, because I'll call the goddamn cops and I'll have them thrown in jail tomorrow. There better not be a fucking obit saying anything about my mother. There better not be nothing saying nothing about my mother, because I'll throw their ass in prison tomorrow. I'll call fucking Manchester police and have every goddamn one of them thrown in prison.
Please.
Every goddamn one of them thrown in prison.
Get
There
rid
better
of them.
not be nothing saying anything about my mother. That's my mother. That ain't their fucking mother. They're not even close relatives to Alice Helton. They're distant relatives to her. They're not close relatives. They're from a fucking half-brother named Arnold. They're not even close relatives to her. There better not be no obituary. There better not be nothing saying anything about my mother yet. And not only that, but there's supposed to be a goddamn investigation going on. So there better not be nothing said or done about my mother until that investigation is done. Right? So there better not be a fucking obit about there. Where's that obit at, Booger Man? Where is it? I know you can't post a link, but you tell me where you got that from. Because there better not be no fucking obit about my mother. Or there's going to be a whole shitload of Frost going to prison tomorrow. That's my mother. And they better not be fucking with it. At minimum, that's invasion of privacy. Well, Larry Frost ain't nothing but a normal citizen now. So the police can arrest his fucking ass, and I expect them to do so. Especially if he's went behind my back again and fucking did shit about my mother. He's going to prison. And this time I'm going to stick my nose in it. I'm going to make damn sure he goes to jail. If I have to go down there to the fucking police station my goddamn self. There better not be an obituary about my mother anywhere yet. The investigation supposedly isn't even done. The investigation's going on for 30 goddamn days. And I know for a fact it ain't been no fucking 30 days yet. There better not be nothing about my mother anywhere.
Oh, you found it?
I found it. Yeah.
Uh-oh.
I'm calling the cops right fucking now. Every motherfucking Frost is going to jail right goddamn now. I'm literally reading an obituary. I never signed off on nothing yet. I never signed off for shit. Every fucking Frost is going to jail right fucking goddamn now. Right fucking now. This is the last goddamn straw. That is my mother. It is not their fucking mother. She is not even a close relative to these people. And they not only kill her, but now they go behind my back and do the goddamn obituary? It says Alice Helton, 92 of Manchester, Kentucky, passed away Sunday, December 19th at Baptist Health Hospital in Lexington, Kentucky. Alice was born in Oneida, Kentucky on January 18th, 1929, a daughter of the late Guilford and Carrie Chandler Frost. She was preceded in death by her husband, Irvin Helton. Alice is survived by her son, James Von Helton of Crane Creek. She is also survived by 6 grandchildren, Lila Von Helton, Jeremiah Von Helton, Helena Von Helton, Chris McGuire, Brian McGuire, and Jessica Carter, 3 great-grandchildren, Elijah Carter, Grace Carter, and Amelia Carter, and several nieces and nephews. Okay, first of all, I need to correct that obituary because Chris McGuire and Brian McGuire and Jessica Carter are not her grandchildren. They are not. Galinda was not a Helton or a Frost. She is a Galt. Okay, so Chris McGuire, Brian McGuire, and Jessica Carter are not her grandchildren. No, they are not. See, this is why I have to do shit. This is why you don't leave nothing to a bunch of fuckwads. This is why I have to handle it. Okay, so now I've got to correct this obituary because it's wrong. The information is wrong. Okay, and the great grandchildren, Elijah Carter, Grace Carter, Amelia Carter. No, those are not her great grandchildren. Those are Galts. Those are not Frosts or Heltons. They're Galts. Okay. All right. Anyway, in addition to her husband and parents, Alice was preceded in death by her daughter, Glenda Helton, not Linda Helton. And following siblings, Arnold Frost, Floyd Frost, Sophia Bynum, Elsie Duncan, Hazel Frost, Arthur Frost, and Omer Frost. Services will be held at 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday, December 29th at Britton Funeral Home with Wade England officiating. Burial will follow at the Helton Cemetery. Helton Cemetery on Crane Creek Road. There better not bury my mother here on this property. She's supposed to be buried with her husband. Holy fucking shit. There's some people going to prison, buddy. I got to get off. I got to make some phone calls, John. I got to make some fucking phone calls.
All right, go make the phone calls, Bond. Take it easy, Bond. We got
somebody's got to go to fucking jail for this shit.
Someone's got to get the fucking
goddamn mother. She's supposed to be buried with her husband in Ohio, not buried down here in a goddamn pit and on a fucking mountaintop. No, fuck no.
So you're gonna close the show?
Not yet. Not yet.
First, get rid of that boogeyman. Can we delete his?
Well, I gotta thank him because I didn't know they had went behind my back and already scheduled their damn obit and shit. We're gonna fix that shit. We're gonna fix it because there's a whole bunch of motherfuckers going to prison over this shit. That's my mother. That is not their goddamn mother. And if they're gonna try and bury my mother on this fucking hill when she's supposed to be buried with her husband, yeah, we've got a major fucking problem in this goddamn town. And I'll have every one of the Frosts behind fucking bars for this shit.
Now where's the husband buried?
He's buried in Hamilton, Ohio, with military honors. He was a World War II veteran. And she was his husband. She's supposed to be buried next to him in Hamilton, Ohio. She ain't supposed to be buried down here in a pit. These people on this hill ain't even her blood. These people on what's the name? Oh shit! I just had the guy's name just yesterday. But they're not even blood to my. These people buried on this hill here. They're not even blood to my mother. They're not blood to my mother. The hackers are not blood to my mother. And these other people, they're not blood to my mother. These people that are buried on this hill are from the people that used to live here years ago. They're not blood to my mother. They're not blood to the Frosts at all. They're no relation to her. She's supposed to be buried with her husband anyway. The burial plot's already paid for, supposed to be. I can't believe this shit. This better not be real, because if it's real, there's some people getting in big trouble. They can go to jail for this. They can go to jail for this. Fuck yeah, they can. Absolutely, they fucking can. That's my mother. They have no right to go behind my back and do anything about this funeral or obituary or burial. They have no right to intervene in that at all. None. Zero. And if this is true, they're going to prison, every goddamn one of them. I'll see to it personally. I'll see to that shit personally. No wonder there was a truck going up that hill the other day. Well, we're going to fix this shit. Oh, yes, we are. And there's going to be some people going to prison. Motherfuckers, that's my mother. That's my mother. That ain't your goddamn mother, bitch. And you're the fat ass that killed her anyway. Giving her the goddamn, you fucking murdering piece of shit. This better not be real. Because if it is, there's somebody going to prison. A bunch of them going to prison. Because she is not going to be buried on this hill. Fuck no. She's supposed to be buried with her husband in Ohio. That's already been paid for. Unbelievable. I know what to say. I'm calling the cops as soon as I get done with this live show. In about, 9 minutes? In about 9 minutes, I'm calling the police and I'm having every one of them fucking Frosts arrested. Ronnie Ray Frost, Marcia Frost, Millie Frost, James Arnold Frost, Larry Frost. I'm not arresting his wife because his wife I know didn't have shit to do with this. But I'm arresting Larry Frost, Ronnie Ray Frost, James Arnold Frost, Millie Frost, and Marcia Frost for at minimum, invasion of privacy. At minimum. All right, that's at minimum invasion of privacy. That's my mother. They don't have a right to do shit. They don't have a right to do nothing. And if they really did set this shit up, if this is real and this is not some kind of fake here, they're going to jail. They're going to fucking jail because I'm not going to stop until they do. They're going to jail. That's my mother. And I'm responsible for the handling of her services, not them. They're not even close. Like I said, these people aren't even close relatives to my mother. They're from a distant half brother named Arnold. They have no direct ties to my mother whatsoever. And they sure as fuck ain't her blood. And if this is true, if what I'm reading here is true, they're all going to prison. They're going to prison, buddy, because I'm going to insist on it this time. Yes, buddy. They have no right. They have no right to say where my mother is buried. Especially when the shit's already paid for up in Ohio. It's already paid for. Casket and everything. And they want to bury her here on this fucking mountain with a bunch of strangers that ain't even her blood? The hackers aren't no relation to her. The hackers aren't related to the Frosts. And Greg Allen, that's his name. The Allens that are buried here, they're not related to the Frosts. They have no relation to the Frosts whatsoever. It's totally different families. The hackers and the Allens ain't no relation to my mother. She is not getting buried on this hill. She's getting buried with her husband. And I guess I'm gonna have to call and cancel all this shit because I had absolutely nothing to do with this. I've already had this set up with the other funeral home and shit. This was never supposed to happen right here. But I guarantee I fix it. Unbelievable. They kill her and then they have the nerve to fucking go behind my back and do her goddamn obituary and fucking funeral and shit also? No, no. Fuck no.
That's some sick shit right there, Vaughn.
Sick fucking shit right there. Yeah, man. That is some sick fucking shit. Wow. Unbelievable. I can't believe that they did this shit. I can't believe it, buddy. I can't believe they did this. What in the fuck's the matter with these people? Well, I got to call the police. I can't allow this to continue. I have to call the police. She's supposed to be buried in Ohio with her husband. She's supposed to be buried on some hill with a bunch of goddamn strangers. The Allens are not related to her. The Hackers are not related to her. Yeah, she might have been friends with them, but they're not her blood. They're not her family. She's not. This property only recently became ours. This property used to belong to the Allens. It did not belong to the Frosts. That's a goddamn lie. And I don't know who did this, but whoever did this is going to go to prison, because this is definitely illegal. No fucking way is that legal. No fucking way is it legal. I'm her son. I handle her funeral expenses and all that shit. Nobody else is supposed to handle that shit. Nobody. These people buried here on this property are not Frosts or Heltons. George Allen is not related to my mother in any way, shape, form, or fashion. The Hackers are not related to my mother in any way, shape, form, or fashion. That's a goddamn lie. Perpetrated, no doubt, by the Frosts. But she's not getting buried here. She is getting buried with her husband, which is where she's supposed to be, because shit's already been paid up there.
Maybe you can get a refund.
I'm gonna get this shut down. That's for damn sure. I got to.
Get that shit
I gotta
shut
shut this
down,
shit
man.
down. This is ridiculous. Of all the fucking nerve to go behind my back and me trying to get this shit scheduled, I guarantee I get it fixed, because I'm going to call up the funeral home and raise hell, because that shit was supposed to have been handled in Ohio, not down here. These people that are buried on this hill are not related to my mother. They're not related to my mother. The Allens and the Hackers are not related to my mother at all. Now, George Allen's a nice guy, and he was friends with my mother, but he's not her relatives. She's supposed to be buried with her husband in Ohio. Like I said, Chris McGuire, Brian McGuire, and Jessica Carter are not my mother's grandchildren. They are not. They are Galts or McGuires, but they are not Heltons or Frosts. Galinda was adopted. Galinda is a Galt. She is not a Helton or a Frost. Her daddy was a Galt. Okay, as the obituary clearly states for Galinda Judy, her father was a Galt. Her family were Galts. She was adopted by my mother. She is not blood to my mother. She is bloodline of the Galts. Okay, and so the children that she had are not grandchildren to my mother. They are grandchildren to the Galts, not to my mother. And see, this is why this shit needs to be taken down and fixed, because this is wrong information. The only grandchildren my mother has is children that I've had. That's it. Because my sister was adopted. My sister is not blood to my mother. My sister is a Galt. Okay? And so this information on here is wrong. It's wrong information. So I have to fix that. God damn it. I can't believe they went and did this shit. I can't believe it, buddy. I can't believe they pulled this shit on me. Nope. I'm not surprised, though. I'm not surprised. All right, that's 4 hours even. Y'all have a blessed day and a better tomorrow. I got to make some phone calls.
All right, take it easy.
See ya. Mm-hmm.